Lodz, one of the largest cities in Poland. Jews began settling in Lodz in the late 70s. In 1793, there were 11 Jews living in Lodz. The number increased. In the year 1820, there were 259 Jews living in Lodz. At that time, the Jewish community began to organize. They had built a synagogue and a cemetery. Unfortunately, the cemetery was destroyed and desecrated after World War II by the Poles. In the early 20th century, Jews were an important part in the development of Lodz. In the textile industry, they owned 175 factories by the year 1914, and that's the year that my dad was born. My mom was born a year later. Prior to World War II, the Jewish population of Lodz numbered about 233,000, roughly one-third of the city's population, and the second largest Jewish community in Europe. My dad hardly spoke about his past. My mom opened up just before she passed away when I and my daughter Michelle traveled to Miami just before she got married.
I'm born in Lodz, December 24, 1950. When I was 15 years, my mother was very sick, and I took over the kitchen, I took over everything, and I have to take care of my mother. She was 4.5 years in bed.
What was your mother's name?
Esther Malka.
And your father's name?
Motko.
When did you have your first child?
19 years. Twins, a boy and a girl. Chaimek and Esther, after my mother. A year before the war, she passed away.
And the boy?
The boy was living.
And then the war broke out. The Lodz ghetto was established in February 1940. About 200,000 Jews were forced to live in the ghetto. On March 1st, 1940, Bloody Tuesday, the Germans organized a pogrom to drive more Jews into the ghetto. Approximately 45,000 Jews died in the ghetto of starvation and diseases. Amongst them were my grandparents and my mother's first husband. He died while he was waiting online for bread. And my mother was left alone with her son Chaim. He was only 6.
And I was with a child, I don't know where to go. I not a house, not one night I sleep here and one night here. I have no choice. I have a friend in a nursing home. She said, Sarah, give me the baby, I'm going to put in the nursing home because the baby is going to die by you. I have nothing to eat for you. I give away the baby in the nursing home, and I sign in to go for cleaning the stones in the ghetto. And this I don't know, and this was to go away when the concentration camp.
Your son Chaim, when was the last time you saw him?
I saw him the last time before I went to post, and then I don't see him anymore.
Can you tell me what happened that day when you saw him for the last time?
They carried me with police. It was a lot of people together. And then I went out in the line and I ran up to the home where he was. And a nurse brought him out in the pajama. And he was screaming, Mama, I'm coming to you. Mama, don't cry, don't cry. You're gonna come to me Saturday. I have for you food. He saved for me a piece of bread, a whole week. It was about 5 years, 5, 6 years. And then I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore.
He raised his hand to wave goodbye, saw the pain in mother's eyes, who left her little precious boy of 4 in a citadel of ash and stone that preached a faith unlike his own. Perhaps he just may yet survive this war. In the shadows stood a man in black. My child, he said, you must not look back. Yet one image lingered, the tears on her face, and mother's words from their last embrace.
My mother's son Chaim wasn't that lucky. He was hidden in a bunker with 170 other kids. The Germans found the bunker, took out all the kids, and shot them all.
Da went Kaposen in Arbeitslager. I was over there maybe 20 months. Life was not good. I work in construction work outside. I make bridges. I make, but the train I was working, the railroads. I have to carry 50-pound cement on my back.
Posen was the first Nazi camp established in occupied Poland. The camp was in service between 1939 and 1944. The camp was used as a construction camp, transit camp, Gestapo prison and extermination camp. At concentration camp Posen in 1939, the Nazis committed for the first time mass murder with poison gas. My mom was one of the lucky ones. For 22 months she was in that hellhole, Posen. From there she was transferred to Auschwitz-Birkenau. They didn't transfer her in a cattle train.
Regular train because the Lager period went with our car Auschwitz and the whole transport went in. And the next day was selections. He said by his life he don't want to have selections. In Birkenau there was about 22 months.
That's an awful long time. Most people didn't make it that long over there.
Because I was working by such a work, but he needed me. There was 15 people in this construction. Couple what she was working with us, she asked me how you know to lay bridges. My father was a bricklayer. And I bring him for supper, I laid the bridge and he was eating. She knew that is a make-up story, but she was a German lady. She had a #1 in Auschwitz. She was sent als communist for 10 years.
When did they put the number on your hand?
And when I come to Auschwitz, this time everybody had a number. Later, but the end, when they come, they have no numbers anymore. I was in 1942 and went over there.
What was life in Auschwitz like?
Not good. Yeah, every 10 minutes to take me for selections.
Where did you sleep?
Bridge, 10 people, one bridge.
You remember the barrack number?
I was in 19, I was in 13, in 20.
How far was the crematorium from where you stood?
Not far, we saw that crematorium. It's just far.
Did you know what was going on over there?
Yeah, sure, everybody knows. When you opened when I was on block 19, they opened the switch to put in the people, the fire comes in the window. I saw the window. When there was a lot of people, they making outside the fire and they put in the people. They throw them like a piece of garbage.
Where did you eat?
They were standing in the line outside. They giving us such a small piece of bread. In the morning we have a black coffee. If you was lucky, so you have the coffee and a piece of bread. And lunch to bring us on the Baustelle. When I was working, to bringing out soup, a lot of water. You have to have a lunetta to find a piece of potato. In the night when we come home, we go in the kitchen for food. Who was lucky had a potato, who was not lucky had just water. I was happy with this. I said tomorrow going to be better. I live with the idea that tomorrow going to be better and tomorrow going to be better. Then when I went working in the command, I have food how much I want. I have a lot of food and I give away a lot of food.
What was the command?
But the bricklayers.
How come they got more food over there?
But the Lagerfeuer gave us more food that we have strength to work. And we have twice a week, 2 breads and 2 salamis. Every week we give. And then every month the people was dying in Germany, they send packages to the family. Our couple, she went over there and she bought us the packages. We have sugar, we have a lot of good things. I gave away a lot of friends. A lot of people I get bread and gold and salami. And what I have, I share with my friends.
But you go out and what did you build over there? What kind of bricks did you lay?
Me was working in Revere, in hospital. I like the bricks, not like this, or the big stones. Me was painting. Me was building a bridge.
A bridge to where?
To go now to pass by, from one place to the other.
Some people didn't go to the selections, they just killed themselves. They ran over to the electric fence.
Then they don't take me to the work and the commando. I be going on the electricity too. I know we are students. Our students have to be responsibility for the people, that the shoe is nice, that they clean. They have nothing to close in the shoe, and they all the time they begin hit for the students. And I can't do this. So I said to my friends, listen, if you don't take me, I go in the electric fence. I don't want to live. So I have to hit somebody.
Well, other people went on the fence?
Oh yes.
One time you told me there was a German officer that came from the Russian front.
One day we went outside, asked us assessment. But he went on the front and he was ruined. And then he was better. He was in the hospital a long time. So they sent us to Ost for a home. They're not working by us. They just, so he asked us, what is this? The chimney, what is going to flame? So he tell me. So he took the gun and he shoot himself. He don't want to see people like this. And he shoot himself.
Did it ever happen that they put you in the selection to go to the heavens?
One time.
What happened?
We went to work. It was a selection block. They did not give us food and not water, but because we want the gas, child tested. But our couple, but she was working with us, she was a German lady. She looked us up. She looked around and around and around, and we saw it up the window. We knocked on the window, and she saw it. So she went in that corner, and she took us out. So she saved us our life. Then we went out for the sauna to the Zelapel, so they cleaning up the whole block to me was. And that was the last time that I saw the other people.
Auschwitz was first constructed to hold German political prisoners who began to arrive in May 1940. One of them was the couple that saved Marmara's life. In September 1941, Auschwitz-Birkenau went on to become a major site of the Nazis' final solution of the Jews in Europe. From early 1942 till 1944, more than 1 million Jews were murdered in Auschwitz. The smoke from the chimney rose up to the sky. Their cries, their prayers, they scratched the walls with their fingernails, trying to maybe escape. But nobody was listening and nobody cared. did you get out of Auschwitz?
Took us out. It come a man and he brought us 500 people to go someplace to work. We went to Malkov. Over there we was working in a ammunition factory, 500 people. And over there was Judenrein, we went on a march for 2 days. In the 1st of May we met American soldiers. In the second day, then we was, in the night time we went in the cows was standing to sleep overnight. Next day we go in the march again. I said, here is a lager, let's go in here. We went in the lager, the people went out and I went in. And I said, it's the copters and potatoes and killer. I said, oh, here, don't worry, we're going to have out to eat. On 18th of May, when I back to college. When I went home, I was going on the trains, not in the train inside, but outside, when we put together. I come college. I was in a gehackte tourist. I had nowhere to go, and I went to my mother's grave.
Jewish refugees that returned from the camps to Poland suffered from hunger, lack of shelter. Although the new Polish government accepted them, the local population treated them with anger, hostility, and violence, in some cases even death. The Poles were afraid that the Jews coming back will reclaim their apartments, their home, their businesses. There were some Polacks that were afraid that the Jews may recognize them as collaborators with the Nazis. And that was one of the reasons why my mother never returned to Poland. She said that the Poles, some of them were worse than the Germans. Where did you find the strength to start everything all over again?
I don't know, God gave me the strength. I was in the beginning, I was looking for everybody and I don't see nobody. And I was sleeping with my friends that we were together and like 4 people was over there. So one time we went in the park and I saw a baby, maybe she was 2 years old. I said, I'm going to kidnap the baby and I'm going to have it for me. And my friends, I don't know how she went a little away from me and I was alone. Then she come back, she said, what is the baby? She said, don't say nothing, I'm going to kidnap the baby. Then the mother was looking for the baby and she saw I go with the baby. So she went over, my friend went over to her and she said to me, don't do nothing. She lost 2 babies. She just come back from concentration camp. She's not going to do nothing to you, baby, believe me. So she come over to me and she said, anytime when you want, I give you the address, you can come and play with my baby. I understand what you went through. And after this, I began to be sick and very nervous. And then I was working in a restaurant for a piece of bread and to sleep.
How did you meet Daddy?
Daddy, when I was working with the guys, I went out shopping in the market and I met him. He bought a piece of cheese. And he was going out with a girl that I introduced him. She wants a watch, she wants boots, she wants this. And he not couldn't give it, so she stopped going with him. And I was working in a restaurant. I come home from work, he was in bed, I was sure that he is sick. So I asked him, what's the matter, you're sick? He said, no, I'm not going no more with the girl. Okay. My mother wants you for a daughter, and I want me both to get married. That was...
Was that the first time you met him, or did you know him before?
Oh, we was neighbors in the house.
So tell me about it.
We was neighbors. His mother wanted me all the time for a daughter.
How was he when he was a kid?
He was a dancer, outgoing. I was not in touch with him because I was a home sitter and he was a life guy. I don't know too much from him. I know that he was going out and he was dancing and he was walking.
Did you know his brothers?
I know the whole family. Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters did he have?
He had 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
What was their names?
The name was...
Esther?
One is Esther.
And Rachel?
I don't remember the
Ruchale?
Ruchale, yes.
And Shimon?
Shimon, how you know?
And
Joe Yosek,
And you're sick?
yes.
And
The other one,
Liza?
Liza, yes. Joe Yosek is still here. He's still in contact with me.
What happened to the rest of them?
They all of them never Hitler.
How did you end up in the Russian jail?
We went to go to Germany. In the catching us on the border. They put us in jail.
Why did you want to go to Germany?
I found out that Uncle Joe is living. And they put us in jail. And I was pregnant with you.
How long were you in jail with the Russians?
6 weeks.
How was that in the Russian jail?
Oh, don't ask. I don't recognize Daddy. I saved him every day a piece of bread. And we went out for every day. Then we went to Germany. Then I went to the doctor. I was very big, strong. I was in the hospital for 3.5 months. A month later I have you, and then a month and a half I was with you in the hospital.
Why?
Because you were so big, 10 pounds.
10 pounds, that's it?
You want more? They have made me a Kaiserschnitt, a cesarean.
Anita, what was she born?
She's born the 3rd, 1948.
After my parents were released from the Russian jail, they crossed the border again and they came to Veldafing, to a DP camp. That's where I was born. There was hardly any work, so my father had to work the black market in order to survive. From Veldafing, they moved to Fürth. Again, my father worked the market, opened up a small canteen, and things were looking up. They even had a maid. And now they were ready for the next move. They decided not to go to the States, but to move to Israel. But in order to get to Israel, they had to go to Marseille, France first, to await their turn to get on the boat in order to come to the country.
You come to Israel, where did you stay in the beginning?
In a barak,
What's
it's 55 people,
Yeah?
and everybody had 2 kids, 1 kid, 2 kids. I was miserable.
How long were you staying there?
A couple of months. And they gave me a place in Kvariona.
After being in Israel for 2 weeks, my dad went back to his old occupation that he started in Poland and opened up an iron workshop. Back then, food was scarce and food was rationed. My parents started growing turkeys and chicken and ducks. I even remember my father making a pool for the ducks. Across the street was the milkman, Kaplan, and together my mom and my dad made cheeses and butter. So my mom and my dad, my sister Ita and I lived there until 1954. Just before we left Kvariona, there was a new addition. My brother Lenny was born. While we were in Kvariona, there was no roads, no electricity, but yes, we did have an outhouse. From there, we moved on to Enat Chelet. By the way, the balcony, the front door, and the gate to the yard, my father made.
Then I went to Enat Chelet, but I was happy that I don't have more the chicken, more the turkeys. I went in the store to buy everything. Then my husband went to go to his brother in America. So 1962 I come to America. I began again to suffer. It was not an easy life in the beginning. My kids have to go to work in the supermarket. I come home and give me a couple of pennies, but I don't have to go to work. They don't know I was working for a couple of months in sex rooms because I don't have a profession. I never was a working person. So I was working as a clinic lady. So my kids find out. And they don't let me go anymore. And I stopped working a little bit. I was always praying to say my first wedding, my first bar mitzvah for my kids. And God let me live. I have 2 bar mitzvahs, and thank God I have a lot of weddings. I have a wedding for my first grandson, and now in the the 8th of August, I have a wedding for my granddaughter. But I'm very sorry I can't go to the wedding because I'm paralyzed. It's not an easy thing for me. But I'm thanking God for this.
Yes, it wasn't easy. My dad lost his wife and 3 children, and my mom's husband and son were also killed by the Nazis. After the war, my parents got married. They had 3 kids, me, my sister Ita, and my brother Lenny. So my parents got to see wedding and bar mitzvot, and my mom even got to hold the first great-grandchild. And from 2 people who survived the killing machine of the Nazis, we are now a family of 28.